Well, hello, beautiful, and welcome to another episode of The Gifted Table. Thank you so much for pulling up your seat, for taking your seat at the table to see what's happening. Don't forget, if you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe. Don't forget to like this video and also share it with someone. Today's episode, we will be talking about how to exercise your leadership, part 1, here on The Gifted Table. So today I'm going to talk about 3 tips for how to exercise your leadership. A lot of people, when the year begins, they have these goals to exercise, get a better body, get beach ready, and all these things. When, first of all, we need to love the skin that we're in, but there's nothing wrong with improvement. But when we think about our leadership, how often do we consider exercising our leadership and what skill sets we need to do there? So today I am going to talk about 3 things. And the first thing is warm up your workspace. You know what that means? How does it feel when people come into your building, come into your office, enter your lobby, or come to meetings for you? Is it a warm environment? So what we need to do is make sure as leaders, we are always building relationships. And it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight, because with relationships comes what? Trust. And then when people trust you, then they will commit to your vision. So first, start off by building those relationships. And as you're building those relationships and warming up your work environment, don't forget to show appreciation. Show appreciation to those who you are leading. Remember to show them that what they do is important. It's not about the titles. It's about the task. It's about the team. So first, warm up that workspace. All right, tip number 2, stretch your mindset. Now, we know there's a lot of books out there and a lot of great consultants and people who are telling us how to stretch our mindset, think differently, think outside the box. And what I like to do, think as if there is no box. One of the first things you can do is reevaluate your vision. Is your vision the same one that you had last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago? Is your mindset still stuck on those same things? And think about, where are you getting stuck as a leader? Sometimes we can get a little comfortable, which can be seen as complacent. So be sure to stretch your own mindset. Well, what might that mean? What are some new technical skills? What might be some new professional development you yourself can look into? Or what's happening in your industry that you've been a little afraid to really get into because it will cause you to have to change? That's where our shifting of our mindset comes from. And that's where we strengthen our mindset, is when we start looking at what do we need to change about ourselves, change about our vision, which will ultimately help to change the organization for the better. So don't forget, stretch your mindset. Don't get stuck in a box. Think about what you are avoiding. Yes. What are you avoiding as a leader? Are you avoiding, oh man, we have this new initiative, or, oh, there's this new law, or here's another new program and I'm not sure if I want to do it. Oh, maybe I am avoiding having those courageous conversations with people on my team because we are just used to doing what we do because it's what we do. So what are you avoiding as a leader? Don't avoid it. Step into it. Because when your team see you making intentional changes, then they will begin to latch onto your vision. So don't forget, stretching your mindset is looking at some things you need to look at differently, looking at what changes you might need to do, and what are you avoiding as a leader. And finally, tip number 3, for exercising your leadership. Strengthen your core. Now listen, when we exercise, and I have to admit, my core is one of the hardest areas that I have to work. It has to do with your centering yourself. The center of your body, your core, your torso is your abdomen. And when your stomach and your abs are strengthened, it helps to strengthen your back. So imagine that. Many of us don't like to do sit-ups. Okay, maybe it's just me. But here's what I want you to remember. When your frontal core is strong, then your back, your spine, you begin to stand a little taller. So what can we do to strengthen our core? Well, first, let's talk about planking it out. What does that mean? You ever did a plank when you're on your elbows, your legs are straight, you have to hold in your stomach and your back has to be flat like a tabletop? Oh my goodness, you're planking it out. So what do you need to just stand still on for a moment? What do you need to really just think about and hold in? But when you're strengthening your core and when you're doing a plank, that means that you are being steady for a moment. You're being still for a moment. You're holding something in, holding it in while exercising and thinking at the same time. Okay. What do you need to suck in order to help strengthen that core? Don't forget that goes with leading from the front, right? So if you're a strong leader and you're leading from the front, then that means your abs, the front of your core is really strong, being a strong leader. And then when you're leading others, don't forget, you have to also lead them from behind. That means you are being their backbone. You're being the strength of them. You're sustaining them. You're holding them up. Your backbone, the center that keeps everything aligned. It's that alignment. So you're going to plank it, hold it in. You're going to lead from the front. Then you're going to help support from the back. Then after you've done that, don't forget to do your push-ups. We don't realize how important physically push-ups can be to our core, to our back, to our legs, to everything. But what you're doing, you're pushing up those into leadership. You're pushing up those who need to possibly step out a little bit into their role. So when you're pushing up others, you are helping to strengthen them. You're giving them something to stand on. You're giving them something to lift them up. So who are you showing value to? Because that's when we push others up in our organization. We're letting them know we value you. I value you. You are a valuable team member. So that's part one for exercising your leadership. Warm up your workspace, strengthen your core, and push up others. I'm so excited to be going through this. We're going to have a part 2 very soon. So don't forget to, again, subscribe to the Gifted Table. I'm always very thankful for those of you who are participating and taking your seat. Don't forget to like this video and share it with someone else. Until next time, remember, stay grounded, innovative, fierce, transparent every day. In other words, stay gifted. I'll see you next time.